So the Pirate Lord is now about twice as strong versus Moab class Bloons than it previously was. So let's see how significant this buff is. Alright, so I'm doing a little bit of an ambitious start where I try to just go for the grape shot straight up, and let's see if this is gonna work out. We're playing on Ancient Portal, obviously not the most difficult of maps, but it's probably gonna be a little bit tricky because, well, we're gonna be using a water-based tower. Oh, and right off the get-go is he's not gonna snipe it. What if I keep this guy on last? Because the only thing that we need to do is we need to snipe the green moose. Like, that's about it. As long as we snipe the green moose, we're gonna be fine. And we got a snipe on that one. Did I actually find the micro? I set it on last and I switched it to first, and I think, yes, I actually found it. Okay, so as long as there are no more green balloons, I think we're fine on this one. So that's gonna be $565. We need about $30. Guys, this might actually be happening. That's ridiculous. Okay, yes, there we go. We found it. Grape shot. Yes, there you go. Alright, so how good is the new Pirate Lord? And let me just first off tell you guys about the changes. So the changes affect the tier 4 and the tier 5 as well. So tier 5's cannonball damage got improved from 3 to 5 versus Moab class balloons. So that's a nice improvement for sure, but the Pirate Lord's damage goes from 5 to 10, and keep in mind it's not that simple. The reason why I say that is because once you get to the monkey pirates, it doesn't attack with 1 cannonball, it attacks with 3 cannonballs. So actually the numbers that you saw right there are numbers that you should be multiplying by 3 to get the actual damage. So when you talk about the Pirate Lord, this thing does 30 damage extra to Moab class balloons. I'm actually trying to fit Striker Jones just behind this rock. I think this is gonna be a, oh my god, am I finding it? I think it's not gonna be in range, but maybe Striker Jones is gonna get some range by himself. And then if we buy a village, I know that I'm a little bit late with the placement. We could have gotten like at least a level or 2, but I just wanted to get some sort of a buff going for this guy. Okay, so let's go for the, I guess we do double shot first, and then we're gonna have to start thinking about the camos because we have no camo detection with our towers. Also, I wanted to mention that Ninja Kiwi did make a change with the Pirate Lord in the last update, which might be a little bit important as to what we're doing, because the hook now actually pulls 6 Moab class balloons instead of 3, and that's a ridiculous change if you ask me, because it's just so good versus Moab class balloons. And now the extra damage that we got versus Moab class balloons, are they trying to make like this Pirate Lord the Dark Crosspat just good versus Moabs? Then how is it gonna do versus ceramics? I'm not exactly sure, but let's see how we're gonna do this thing. So we do have the cannon ship upgrade upcoming, but we're gonna have a cannon balloon as well. And I actually think that if we buy the cannon ship, we're probably gonna throw the rum, because I want to just like throw out a spike factory here at the back, and that's supposed to be dealing with all the camos, so up until like the forge or something like that. So yeah, let's just go like this. Let's just throw out this spike factory. Where do I want to have the spike factory? Like, I want to have it as far away as possible, but also being on the track. So let's go like this. And if I have an alchemist like over here, it's not gonna be able to buff the spike, is it? Hope not. Yeah, so I guess the Pirate Lord has always been kind of a staple and kind of a solid tower like in general, and I think it's more surprising that the top crossbow, the aircraft carrier and the carrier flagship, those are the ones that actually took off and not the middle one. Wait a minute, so this is not gonna work though. So I've been kind of trying to play around with this placement of the alchemist, and so I think I found a spot which is right here. Now, does this reach? So it doesn't reach the spike, but it doesn't reach the Buccaneer as well, I don't think. Let me just test it on this round. We're gonna restart, so let's go like, oh, it does. Oh, it actually does very good. And look at this, Striker Jones is just outside. We can barely see it, but Striker Jones is not in range. Okay, this is really good, guys. I did not test this beforehand. This is just happening live. Oh, that's so good actually. So let's, when we place the village, let's actually make sure that we don't get the alchemist in the range of the village, because it's gonna be able to buff these guys as well, I suspect, and that's, well, not good. Alright, so doing well so far. The only things that I'm concerned are, first off, these camo balloons. Are we gonna be able to deal with them just using the spike? I'm not sure. I'm gonna need, like, that's like 4 spike palace. Let's see, that's gonna be 5. Is this gonna be enough? If it's enough for the, yeah, there we go. It's barely enough. There was like 1 spike pile left at the back. And let's get the monkey pirates. We are gonna get the ability for the Moab class balloon, which is gonna be really nice, but then later on it's gonna get a little bit tricky. Or is it? I don't know. I feel like this plus 5 damage that they got, it's a huge increase, guys, because again, as I mentioned, it's 3 cannons getting plus 5 damage. And I'm actually gonna try and overclock this tower so that we can get as much attack speed as possible, and we're dealing with all these Moab class balloons super fast. So let's we're gonna have the Moab in a second, so let me just pull this guy, not worry about him. Now when we place the village, I want to have both Striker Jones and the Buccaneer obviously in the range of the village, but not the alchemist. And I should make sure that even when we buy the bigger radius, the alchemist is not in range. So maybe we go like this, we get the bigger radius, and yes, there we go. Okay, so the alchemist is not in range, both of these guys are, and I think that the buff now actually gets to the Buccaneer. Oh my god, I can't believe this just happened. Okay, so look at what just happened, guys. So Striker Jones got level 8, and level 8 gives all towers in the hero plus 5% range, and because the alchemist got 5% extra range from Striker Jones, now he's gonna be able to buff Striker Jones, which is just absolutely insane. Oh my god, no, how does this happen? Alright, so we're just gonna have to tank it, I guess. There's no way around this thing, so let me just get the strongest team. That's just ridiculous. How does that even happen? It was just too good to be true, guys. The perfect placement that we found, it was just not gonna happen. Something had to happen, obviously. Now, let me just check something. I'm not doing a 2 million pops, I don't think, but let me just check the pops on our towers. So 29, 6, and then this guy obviously pops with camo balloons. Do we go for it? Like, let's try it, but let's not burden ourselves with it. So if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it's fine. Okay, so if we're going for 2 million pops, it means that we want to keep the balloons like in this area, which is gonna be a little bit difficult, like, I'll be honest. And actually, this water tower is barely even making it to the other side, so yeah, that's gonna be kind of difficult actually with the Pirate Lord, especially in this map, but let's give it a shot. So you would probably want to start things off by getting like what, a glue for sure. So let's buy a glue so that we can keep the balloons like on the top side of the track, because if they make it through the portal, then Striker Jones is gonna be able to attack them. So let's go like this, just buy it as a Moab glue for now, I think. Actually, during these past few rounds, I've been noticing that this Buccaneer is doing kind of well versus these Moab class balloons. I mean, we're gonna have one after this. Yeah, there we go. So here's what I've been noticing. So look at these cannonballs fly out there. Actually, you're looking at the melons, by the way, but I guess it's the same thing. But here's what happens. So these melons, they're not exactly that accurate. So even though they all got buffed, all the damage is not being realized, is what I'm saying, because they are flying around everywhere. So I think it has to do a little bit with the placement of our Buccaneer, because he's just so far from these Moab class balloons that the projectiles are just not landing onto them, and that's a problem. So I feel like only the middle one and sometimes I guess the bottom one lands onto the Moab class balloons. Yeah, let's watch onto these ones. So I can see the middle one landing, but I can see 2 misses, and then sometimes like this one from the left also gets a hit in. So we're not realizing the full potential to this guy, but I guess that's a good thing, because with this extra damage that we're getting, I guess even though it's less cannonballs hitting the balloons, they're doing more damage, which is overall good. Oh, we triggered the secret, by the way. So these monkeys, you guys probably know what this is about, but once you do 15,000 pops in 70 radius of this top portal, you can click these statues, and then it's gonna be like a lightning effect. Some of the balloons are gonna get stunned, some of the balloons are gonna get popped, and yeah, it's a really cool thing. I like to think of this as like a mini absolute zero effect that you can just have it on command, but the thing is, it's gonna take away some pops as well, so let's just kind of use it only if necessary. And we're doing so far so good. I really want to get the Pirate Lord. We need the extra damage versus Moab class balloons, because we're gonna start seeing 45 Moabs, and actually this monkey parts is getting overwhelmed a little bit. Let me just use Striker Jones's level 3 ability, keep these guys in place. Look at the stun radius, by the way, it's really big. The way that this map goes, all these balloons, once you use the Striker Jones stun, it's gonna affect all of them. Just the way this map goes, it's like this whirlpool just going down in the middle. Okay, so let's use the hook for the first one of these guys, and then we get the money for the Pirate Lord. So let's buy the Pirate Lord, and this is where we're gonna see how much. Oh my god, the guy disappeared. Okay, all right, we didn't even see that guy go. Okay, so I guess we are really good versus Moab class balloons. Although to be fair, that was just like a 45 Moab, and it's not even free play yet, so let's just not be too quick to judge. But it was a good showcase, I gotta be honest. Still good versus 63 and all these ceramics, by the way, just because the cannonballs do a lot of extra damage and there's a lot of AoE happening. And let's watch it versus Moab class balloons now. So this should be a good showcase of the extra damage. Let's see how we do. So the small Moabs, or I should say the non-45 ones, are just exploding. The 45 ones as well. Yeah, not too much problems with these guys, I want to say. I have a BFB incoming, and we could use the hook obviously, but let me just see it attack it. I kind of followed it on round 65 and what it did, and it popped 2 BFBs, no problem. And obviously if you have a problem, you can use the hook ability, something like that, but maybe we leave that for later, because we have 2 paths that we can take. Number 1 is we go for the MIB and the call to arms eventually, or number 2 is we actually go for the energizer, we play off of the cooldowns, which could be a lot of fun as well. A lot of Moabs though, let's use the hook ability onto these guys. Look at this thing. This ability is so ridiculous sometimes that I don't know, like it just made it 6 hooks, guys. 6 is 6 a little bit too much? I feel like 6 is a little bit too much. And let's try and use the hook actually on 75, because we're gonna have like a million balloons. Can we use it more than once? Let me just use the ability once to see what oh my god, all of the Moab class balloons appeared. That was, by the way, a couple of BFBs stacked on top of each other. There was like at least 145 Moab. Yeah, it was 145 Moab and then like 1 BFB at the front. It's insane how good this ability is. And just like that, I mean, that's gonna be like 3 BFBs stacked on top of each other. So I guess let's see the cannonball attack and the extra damage. Is gonna be able to handle all of these guys, and it seems like it is. Is anyone even gonna make it inside the portal? Yeah, a couple of small balloons. There we go. And also another good thing is that the bigger the balloons become themselves, like for example, when you go from a Moab to a BFB or from a BFB to a ZOMG, the footprint of the balloons increases as well. So that makes the cannonballs a lot less likelier to miss. That's like a nice bonus thing for us as well. And actually, this close-off area is really nice on this map, because you can place towers that are not going to interfere with the 2 Mega Pops challenge, which we're not doing. Wink, wink. And the ZOMG is out. We could obviously use the hook, but I don't want to do that. So this guy he's not overclocked. Okay, but he's attacking with a lot of melons, and actually we should see less and less misses from these melons now. So it's only the middle one hitting. Okay, so we have no, it's not all 3. It's the middle and the left one hitting, and then this right one is missing. And other right one is actually hitting this obstacle, which Striker Jones is behind. Wait a minute, so it's hitting and it's exploding. So does that mean that the explosion is actually popping a level of balloons? I don't know. That's a really good question actually. But it took down the ZMG, which is a good sign for what is to come. Okay, so let's go into these rounds by overclocking. Let me use the ability, just take down a bunch of, oh my god, that's like half the round. It just disappeared right there. A bunch of small Moabs. It's only around 83 in free play mode, I know, but it's gonna be a huge wave of them, and these cannonballs are not gonna miss as often, I don't think. Yes, we do take them down. Really nice stuff. I think one of the things that we should be doing is probably a call to arms, but we're probably gonna stop at the call to arms. So let's just buy it. We do have the relentless goods, so we're playing off of the main attacks. We do have an overclock. Let me just not forget to overclock this guy, by the way. Let's watch him how he does versus 84. So a bunch of, this is like a beefy round, by the way. 84. You might not be on your radar, but it's a bunch of Moabs and a bunch of BFBs, and this guy seems to be dealing with them. He's barely letting anything go into a portal, and we haven't used the call to arms yet. So yeah, this is a really good sign, guys. I think I asked this question when we started this, and that's if Ninja Q is trying to kind of make this guy the Moab tower that's going to take down a bunch of Moabs, but it's really not going to be good versus small balloons. I don't know, it still seems kind of nice versus small balloons, or at least so far it's only around 87. Let's use both abilities, by the way, because we have 4 ZMGs on this one as opposed to the 2 on 85, which I just used the hook, by the way, onto those guys. We seem to have popped all of them. That's a huge mess, by the way. We can't even see what's happening with all the explosions. All of the Moab class balloons have popped. I see a bunch of small balloons, and I think we actually take down this round with our abilities. Yeah, now let's actually see the extra damage versus DDTs. It should be a little bit better, right? Oh yeah, there we go. These DDTs are disappearing. Okay, so let's start incorporating Striker Jones in our strategy a little bit. So let me just use the ability. It has a huge AoE, by the way, this thing, and it lasts for such a long time. So let me actually, are we going for something like an energizer just so we get the cooldowns down? Because if we can get Striker Jones's cooldown down and also the hook, that's gonna be really nice. Let me just use the stun, by the way. Look at the AoE of this stun. It's insane. Oh, but no, it's leaking small balloons. Oh, look at this thing. So they are actually entering the portal. We can use the like this monkey stat. How do you call this ability, by the way? Do we even have a name for this thing? Do we just call it like the secret ability thingy on Ancient Portal and that's about it? Like, we need a proper name for this thing, I think. But there's still a bunch of ZMGs left on screen. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna use the call to arms. I don't think that we're gonna need it for the next round because it's only gonna be like a couple of 45 BFBs plus like a couple of DDTs, so we should be fine. But we need to take down these guys first. That's the most important thing. And those ZMGs have popped and they are gonna be entering the portal, and we do have a little bit of an issue with these Moab class balloons and just their leftovers entering the portal, so we have to do something about that as well. Okay, so first off, let's watch the DDTs and then let's find something to do with these small balloons that are entering the portal. So I just overclocked this thing. Do we need to? I don't think we need to use the call to arms. Is anyone even gonna enter the portal? Oh, wait a minute. They are? No, they're not. Never mind. Yeah, this is plus 5 damage, guys. This is looking really nice. Okay, so let me use the call to arms just to clean these guys out, and then I do have something that I want to do versus these small balloons, and that is I'm probably just gonna put something like an ice tower over here. It's gonna be a 2-4. We can actually make it a 2-5-0. Yeah, let's go for the absolute 0. So we're gonna have this aura. All right, so DD is really important around. Let me just overclock, and then I think let me just start things out by using the absolute 0, and then we could probably use the monkey ability thingy. I'm not sure how many pops this thing is gonna take, so I don't want to use it, but at the same time I think we might. Oh, some DDs going through. Let's just hook a couple of them and let's use the stun ability from Striker Jones. We are keeping them in place, and keep in mind we're still not using the call to arms, and I think this is gonna hold. I think let me just use the absolute 0 for one last time for this round. Bam, there we go. We have it. Very good. All DDs have popped, and this is, guys, almost 1.3 million pops. We are doing very well with the 2 mega pops thingy that we're not doing. All right, so the biggest problem are probably gonna be like these rounds like 96 and 98, so super beefy rounds. So let's overclock. Let's use the call. I want to use the call to arms preemptively, and I'm just gonna start hooking these balloons. The way this round comes out is BFBs first and then the ZMGs behind them. So if we can take care of the BFBs on time, then we should have no problems with the ZMGs. So let's use the stun ability, and we are keeping these guys in place. Look at this thing. They're already going through the portal. Okay, so let me just freeze everything and just give this guy a little bit of time to react and just pop the balloons. And then maybe I should probably get like a Sabo Ninja on the side just for these upcoming rounds. I think maybe like the 45 DTs are going to be annoying on 99. Let's just be ready for them as well. Okay, so we do have a hook ability. I'm going to use it. We're going to get some Moabs. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I get the Moabs? It just hooked 2 ZMGs. That's actually interesting how the AI works. So it prioritizes hooking 2 ZMGs instead of 1 ZMG and a couple of Moabs. It actually makes sense because the ZMGs are the ones that we are actually struggling versus. And we're kind of popping the small balloons, no problem. Yeah, look at this thing. Okay, so let's use the hook, just take care of all these guys. Bam, there we go, 97. Okay, so for 97, we can probably stall these guys for a very long time, I think, so that we can get the Part Lord ability. Or at the same time, do we want to be using the Part Lord ability onto this round? Because if I click the button, we're gonna defeat this round instantly, but it's round 98 upcoming, and I don't know, that's gonna be a difficult one. So let's try and pop it normally. Yes, doing very well, but once these balloons enter a portal, I don't know, like, I feel a little bit scared, and that's like a full 45 ZMG that's probably gonna enter a portal. Please, like, pop it into BFBs at least. Yeah, there we go. Now we just probably stun these PFBs, and it's gonna be fine. They're in the range of the absolute zero, and this guy is just keeping them all in place. And yes, we do take him down, which is really nice because we saved all our abilities. Okay, so 98, this is the big one. So let's start things off by using the hook and then just try and keep everyone. Oh, wait a minute, we're not attacking. That was awkward. You know what we can do? We could probably get away by using the Sabble early on in this round, and that's probably gonna come off cooldown before 99. So let me just keep everyone in place. Let's use the overclock and the call to arms, and then I'm gonna try and save the absolute zero. We do have the secret monkey ancient portal ability, hashtag green lightning monkey head type of thingy. You know what happens when this thing explodes, right? We need a name for this thing, guys. Let's just watch what's entering the portal because that's the most. I think we need to use the green lantern. Okay, let me just use the ability. I'm not sure how many pops that took away, and was that a mistake? I'm not exactly sure. I can see balloons kind of making it through. Oh my god, that's a lot of balloons. Oh no, we need to use the. I was late. Alright, yeah, 98 is going to be a difficult one. Okay, so let's overclock, and as soon as this guy starts attacking, stun everyone. Just give this guy a little bit of time to just attack the balloons as much as possible, use all the abilities, and then I think we go for the absolute zero first, and then once the absolute zero effect fades, we're going to follow up with the Striker Jones level 3 ability. So I think now is going to be a good time. We're going to have a Part Lord ability as well. Yeah, I'm going to need this extra damage to Moab class balloons to go to town like right now, because this is where we need it the most. So let me just overclock again, and let's see how we do. So this is definitely looking a lot better than last time, I'm pretty sure. Let's stun again. Look at the stun, by the way, for Striker. It's striking it's stunning so many balloons, and it's like it's still probably not enough. Let's use a hook. So all the ZMGs are gone. That's really good. And I think we use the absolute zero, freeze everyone. Oh my god, no. Let me try and be a little bit clever with this round. So here's what I want to do. Let me get this. This is gonna be a 0-2-1 knockback super, which I'm actually gonna set on last. So it's gonna attack down the straight line. I'm gonna have a Moab Shaft Heli, which I'm gonna set in place right here. Now the idea with these two guys is they're just gonna keep the Moab class balloons in place so that we can play a little bit off our ability. So I'm going to use the absolute zero now. Let me just get a couple of hooks in before we start attacking the balloons. I think we should also have the Sabo active, and let's keep using the Striker Jones ability. There we go. Like this is a lot better than last time, is it? I don't know. I might be coping hard. Let's use the stun ability. We are getting I think it's a little bit better because we're getting a second ability off before we start attacking the balloons. So that's really good. The Super Monkey seems to be taking a lot of pops, by the way. So that's not good, especially once we use the call to arms. This guy's gonna go ham. So thank God we're not doing a 2 Moab boss thingy, otherwise this would have been really bad. So let's use, that's gonna be the third hook ability, by the way, and I think it's time to start overclocking. And yeah, let's use the call to arms. This is like our all-in moment, and that's a lot of damage these guys are doing. We do get the Sabo back. I don't want to use it. Let me just use the stun ability. And how are we doing? So everything seems to have popped. Let me move this guy to first now, actually, so he keeps all of these guys at the front in place. And then are we fine? I'm gonna use one absolute zero, and I think this is gonna be it. Yeah, there we go. So we just needed to keep these guys in place for a second and just get a couple of abilities off, and that's gonna be fine. There we go. All right, so around 99 we did save the Sabo, so I'm just gonna use this thing preemptively, and I also am going to use the hook. So let's get as many of these deities as possible. We are gonna have 3 that we have to pop. Okay, that's not too many, I don't think. And then also let me just buy a Spike Storm because we're probably gonna need it for the next one. And how are we doing with deities, by the way? We popped them. There we go. And just like that, round 100. Okay, so do we have this? I hope we do. So here's what we're gonna do for this one. Let's use the call to arms. Let's use the Spike Storm ability, and let's overclock this guy. So we're going all out onto this one. We have to pop the bat, or well, it's GG. Is the plus 10 damage on the Part Lord gonna do anything in this run? I don't know, but if it's gonna do something, it's probably supposed to be doing it right now. Okay, so let's use the call to arms right now, just like this. We do have the Part Lord ability and everything, so as soon as the bad layer pops, we're probably gonna have this thing. So let's go like this. Let me overclock. I'm freezing. Oh my god, no. This is 100% possible. I just needed to time the absolute zero a little bit better, but this thing is it popped just before the exit, but it is possible, trust me. All right, so look at this. Do the same thing again. Call to arms. Use the Spike Storm, and then we're ready with the absolute zero, just like that. We use the hook, and that's probably about it. I mean, I see like a ZMG, so are we gonna pop? I think it's like 1 ZMG left, right? Oh my god, it's only 1 left, and I see small blues leaking. It's really close, this one. What if we get one more Moab shard just like this in the middle? I'm sure it's not gonna do like too much damage, but it's gonna be better than nothing, right? So let's go like this. Let's do the exact same thing. So call to arms. Let's use the Spike Storm ability. Let's see how much damage this guy's gonna dish out. So about 2,500 so far is gonna go. Oh, it's 3,000 damage. It's really good, actually. This 3,000 damage, it might not sound like a lot, but I think it's gonna do a lot. It's gonna make a huge difference, especially like when this guy pops. Okay, so I think we might have it this time, but for real this time. Okay, so call to arms. Yes, look at this thing. Yes, it's so much better just by buying this one little Moab Shredder 130, and let's use the other one. Let's slow freeze everyone. I didn't even use the hook, but there we go. it's done, guys. It's a 004 Druid Insta, and is it done? Did we get the 2 Mega Pops? Let me just check. No, we didn't, but that's completely fine because we weren't going for this anyways. And by the way, if we didn't go for the Super Monkey, we would have it, guys. But it is what it is. It was a good run, though. It was a really good run, and it was a fun one, especially. And that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.